Hi, it's Sherry. I'm on the island of Kauai today. I hope you can see some of how fabulous it is here in the background. But I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about the idea of balance in our lives. And more specifically, how do we spend the hours of each day? We each get the same number. It's 24 hours a day. It doesn't matter who you are or how you negotiate. That's it. That's what we get. It's a purely egalitarian system. So for most people, 8 hours go to work at least, and 8 hours go to sleep. So that takes 2/3 of the day away before we can even begin to think about how we're spending our hours. But I just want to propose a simple model here, which is the notion of mind, body, and spirit. Because at least that gives us a starting point to think about what hours are going to what parts of our lives. Because I don't know about you, but it's really easy for me to get out of balance and to be spending much more time in one area than the others. So, for example, let's just start with body, since that's really my arena for work. We mentioned sleep, so that's 8 hours that need to go there, but there are a number of other physical requirements that our body has, and of course the top one on my list is food. So shopping for groceries, planning meals, preparing meals, cleaning up after meals, or even just going to restaurants. It's a big time commitment. We also need exercise. That's another daily body requirement, which we may or may not attend to. In fact, that's true of all the physical requirements. In general, in my work, what I find in terms of health problems is that most of them come out of where we're choosing to spend our time with our bodily requirements. So we have sleep, we have food, we have exercise or motion of some sort. We have, you have to hydrate. Water is another big piece that we tend to not pay much attention to. We have to breathe. That's another really critical healing component of our lives that we pretty much ignore. So I might just talk about that all by itself sometime. What else? So, and maybe your work is physical. So you could see that a large portion of your time can be used by the physical requirements of existence. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a consciousness thing here to notice where our time goes. For the body, we definitely need most of those choices. I didn't even mention elimination, bathing. There's a long list of things that a human body requires. So then we have mind, which other words for that would be intellectual pursuits, left brain, analytical, rational thought. All of that falls into that category. For a lot of people, that is our work area. That's mine. Mine is largely mind-oriented. But it would also include any kind of studying that you do, reading, planning, things like paying the bills and budgeting concerns. All of those things fall into the intellectual pursuit. Left brain is generally considered the male component of our lives. And if that's a new thought for you, we all have male and female components to our lives. So it's really easy in our society today to spend a lot of our time there. Any of the time you spend with a computer, a cell phone, an iPad, any of those sort of things fall into that category. And that's definitely what happened to me. I woke up in my early 40s and realized that I had a left brain that had muscles like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I had a right brain that looked like a very pasty couch potato. So that brings us to the third area of our model, and that is spirit. It can also be referred to as soul, or I like to think of it as heart, matters of the heart. This includes our right brain, our creative existence, our spiritual existence, our sense of connection to source or to a grounded center. There's a limitless number of words here that you might find meaningful, but you'll know what I'm getting at. It's matters of the heart. It's about love, relationship. It's about beauty. And that's one of the reasons why I'm sitting here doing this video for you today, is because I have learned that I need to connect in nature and through beauty to find balance in my spirit self. So I make a commitment every day to be in nature for some period of time. This usually involves hiking the dogs, and I consciously try to choose the most beautiful places that I can do that, and preferably alone and in silence, because solitude is another component here that maybe is not getting much attention in your daily life. So I just bring this up as a very simple model for how to think about the ways that we spend the hours of our time on this earth, which really, that's the true valuable resource that we have, and maybe more specifically, it's the only resource we have. So just give it some thought and see where your hours are being spent. I'm wishing you well.